So now we're at the stage where we've added our evaporator coil that they've shipped in from the factory, and they're all fully cased. For our purposes, I've removed the access panel so you can have a look to see what the A coil looks like. One of the things that you'll notice is that there is foil-faced insulation inside the evaporator coil, and you can see the copper stringing through by the U-rings, which are on the outside of the coil. This piece is called the thermal expansion valve, and you will see that there's a little wire string that comes from it and will go up to meet the refrigerant, and also there's a sensing bulb here that will mount to either a 3/4 or the 7/8 line depending upon the application. Here is your quick connect fitting, and you'll notice these are where the refrigerant lines are going to connect. They come from the factory with caps on them to prevent debris from getting inside. You do not want contamination to occur when you're connecting your line set. One of the things that I like to tell people is to verify or do a visual on the drain pan to make sure there are no cracks. The drain pan is located here at the bottom of the coil in an upflow application. You'll notice that you've got some white drain fittings here on the side. This is a multi-positional coil, so you can use it in many different applications as an upflow, a downflow, or horizontal. So this would be used for your horizontal application, and you would actually just rotate the coil 90 degrees. And this is where your condensate pan will be connected. In our case, your condensate drain lines will be located down here, and you'll see that they're offset. One is lower than the other. You have a primary and a secondary, so that when they're connected in that way, if for some reason your primary drain would back up, the water level would not rise or overflow, it would go through the secondary drain connection. One of the things that you can do after you've checked your drain pan to make sure that there are no cracks is to fill it with water to make sure there is no leak. You can also check your quick connect fittings. Here is a diaphragm, and what happens during the process then when the line set is connected is that it will be pierced and it will fold back so that refrigerant is free to flow. To verify that you do have a holding charge on the coil, even though they do a pressure test from the factory at 500 psi, you can take your finger on the larger fitting and press against the diaphragm inside. If you feel a resistance and a bubble type feeling, then you know that you have a charge. It's much harder to do on the 3/8 small line, so as long as you've got the resistance and that bubble feel on the larger fitting, you can make sure that your coil is actually holding a charge.